All right. What up, Phillip? It's
Ah,
been a while.
it has.
How's it been going? What's going on here?
Oh, not much, man. Just and working and just trying to, afford stuff and at the same time, still trying to enjoy life, either watching movies, TV, trying to, collect Pokemon cards, trying to find Pokemon cards even right now. But other
Which
than that,
ones you hunting? You still hunting for those Gardevoirs?
yeah, I'm missing two of them. Well, yeah, two of them right now. The two big hitters from Mega, the newest Mega set, the gold rare Gardevoir and the Mega Gardevoir SIR. Those are the two I'm missing. But as of right now, uh, have everything except for those two that's been released. So
You're not buying any of those plushies, are
no, no, that's too rich for my blood. I don't have that kind of money to buy a $400 plush.
you? I was just thinking it popped into my head actually last night. I was trying to, I was watching him again yesterday, and I saw Reversal came back, Pokemon Go, and I
Yeah,
was like, it's been a while, and got me thinking about Pokemon and Pokemon Go and shit like that, and just thought we'd talk about it. So, Philip, what do you want to talk about?
you took the words right out of my mouth. Mm, honestly, in regards to like Pokemon, what like what drew you to it, or what's kept you in it?
What drew me to it?
Yeah, like what made you a fan? Like what's kept you a fan?
Well, I remember my cousins, younger cousins, when it first came out, were playing it, and I was like, "What the hell is this nonsense?" And played the games, and I think it was Yellow that I started playing. And I was like, "All right, this is kind of fun," but you know, didn't think any much of it. And that was probably my junior year, tail end of my junior year, and then it was when Gold and Silver came out.
Okay.
I had a buddy in friggin' one of my math classes. He he was playing it all the time, and he convinced me to go out and actually buy them. I had a job, I had my own car, so I was able to spend my own money instead of mom's.
Mhm.
Um, and I started playing about the clear purple Game Boy, and just just messing around. Anytime I had questions, I asked him, and then Crystal came out, and I really got into Crystal.
Right.
Um, and then it was just game over from there. I was just playing. You know, yeah. I think it was Silver that I had my first level 100. Um, Crystal, I had multiples, and then what was it either Kalos or Unova is where I pretty much damn near close to complete the Pokedex. So it's like I kept giving myself challenges, and it was just I'm in now. It's been 25 years, almost
Yeah.
30 years. So, how about you?
Oh, in a way, kind of the same thing. Like for me, it was at first more the card side, like the trading card side of it. Have friends at school. Start. That was about the time I think it was maybe fifth, sixth grade for me. So kids bring their cars to school and trade or show off what they got. Then kind of started seeing that. That's like, oh dang, that's cool. Then either what little allowance money or do chores around the house and hey mom, dad, can you guys like when we go to Walmart or we also had another store. It's called Hastings. It was a entertainment store. Had like books, movies,
Yeah, I
video,
remember Hastings.
CDs, all that jazz. But there was also a movie rental place, so we go there. Like, hey, can I get a pack? Can I have a pack of Pokemon cards? Can I get a pack? They'd buy me a pack or two here and there. Then it was the cards, and kind of along with the anime. Started watching that. Then remember my first was a Game Boy Advance. Parents got me a Game Boy Advance like this is a birthday or Christmas or whatever, and got one of the Pokemon games for that one. And if I remember right, it was, I think Emerald. Ended up getting Emerald when I finally, got a Game Boy Advance and all that, and been played those. Then got some of the older, like the OG, like I think it was Red, then got some of the other ones on for the Game Boy. Played it on Game Boy Advance, and basically been playing most of them through since, from the DS, 3DS up to the Switch, and having fun with that. Emerald was actually where I got my very first 100% full odds shiny Pokemon.
And it's another thing. In-game mainstream games never got a shiny.
Really?
Wasn't until Pokemon Go came out that I got a shiny in game.
My first
Well, I
shiny.
mean the red Gyarados, of course, but
Well, yeah.
besides that, everybody gets that.
Yes, yes, those are technically shinies, but I personally don't count those. But first shiny, if you've played Emerald or Ruby and Sapphire, when you meet up with Wally to show him how to catch a Pokemon, he
Oh,
always
shiny
catches Wally.
Pokemon.
And 9 times out of 10, seen like on YouTube, TikTok, and all that, whenever they go to do that, Wally always ends up with that. Somehow it works out where he gets, oh wow, here's a shiny. So after that, I'm going through the tall grass because I'm wanting a Ralts. Boom, full odds, shiny Ralts for me. And ever since then, favorite Pokemon's been Gardevoir. And every game since, always a Gardevoir on my team. Strong Psychic, then later on became Psychic Fairy. Super great Dragon Killer with being Fairy typing. And ever since then, always had a Gardevoir on my teams. Then Pokemon Go came out, and had fun with that. Still play it, not as heavy as used to, but Pokemon Go. That summer of 2016, where the closest we had to world peace. And speaking of, what is your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite, first Pokemon I got to level 100, Pidgeot. The supreme bird of birds.
Oh
Bird.
yeah.
I like you with Gardevoir, Ralts. Anytime I played a mainline game, if I had the possibility of getting a Pidgeot, as soon as I could, friggin' caught a Pidgeotto or something. Friggin' got that up to daycare, got the egg, started from ground zero with that little guy. Because I ain't running with a level 54 Pidgeotto. It ain't gonna happen.
Right.
Um, and every team I can, I always have a Pidgeot. And if I can't get a Pidgeot, I miss Magus. And if I could get both, even better.
Yeah,
What's
there's probably two I'm the worst about it is when it's starting a new game. There's probably at least 2 or 3 Pokemon that I have to have on my teams, no matter what. It's always a Gardevoir, a Gyarados, and if it's worth
Every time.
and a Luxray.
There, Luxray is one of those that if they could have gave him a Mega and Electric Dark, they need to get. Even to this day, I forget that it's not Dark type.
Oh, it like if there's a Pokemon that you see it and like that's a Dark type, Luxray is that. Like you just look at him like, yep, that's dark. That's dark.
What's your favorite starter line?
Oh. Okay. For grass, for my favorite starter/starter line for grass would be the Trico to Sceptile line. I think that is one of the coolest looking grass type starters we've had. And now that evolves into a tree, basically a tree raptor with like a Christmas tree for a tail. How much cooler can you get than that?
Yeah, I was never a Sceptile fan, but then that Mega is beautiful.
Yes. Water type, it's going to be a little bit not, I wouldn't say overrated, but I guess kind of a little bit of a typical. I like the Froakie Greninja line. I think just Greninja looks so cool.
Yeah, the only reason people would say it's overrated is because with Ash and Ash Greninja and
Mm-hmm.
kind of his own little not mega form, and
Yeah.
kind
And
of
like,
got the Pikachu Charizard effect where it's Ash's, so it must suck. It's either everybody loves it or everybody hates it.
yeah. And like to me personally, there's like not necessarily overrated Pokemon. Is there like overused or overpopular? Potentially, yes. But at the same time, I mean, like like the saying goes, every Pokemon is someone's favorite,
Yeah,
and like, who cares if it's like super popular? Like, someone's favorite popular doesn't have Pokemon doesn't have to be like this super niche like Pokemon that people forget's a Pokemon. Like, wow, I forgot that existed. Um, to me, like every Pokemon is valid as someone's favorite. Doesn't matter if it's super popular like Charizard, legendary like Mewtwo. To me, it doesn't matter. It's whatever reason you like it, cool.
and then there's the ones that everybody unanimously agrees is the greatest Pokemon of all time, and it's God Tier Bidoof. I
Yes,
love I love
only
how the
use
community came
only
together and said, yep,
cinnamon
that's it.
power.
What's we were just talking about least favorite or you know favorite. Which one is the one that every time you see it pisses you off?
Man, that's
Mhm.
if it's in Pokemon Go, it's probably Rattata. Because like remember the early days, like basically all there was Rattata, Pidgey, Caterpie. That's like 90% of what was spawning around. I would probably say it's probably one of those like early, like probably like Rattata or oh, Miltank. Miltank is it gives me PTSD. It is the fact that Miltank exists is the reason why God doesn't talk to us. The reason why aliens doesn't visit us. Miltank is that Pokemon. Mm. It's I still hate it because of Whitney.
The only reason I love Miltank, even at all, is because I don't know. I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know if they planned it. The fact that it's shiny gave us blue milk. I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's annoying, especially if we're playing, red, fire red, leaf green, or heart gold, soul silver, whatever it is. It is annoying as all get out.
Yes.
But it gave us blue milk, so I'm like, all right, it's utterly delicious. Like I said,
what would be your Pokemon that you, if as soon as you see it, it just makes you irrationally angry?
um, I try to think because like my initial thought is like, oh, Pikachu, but it's not so much Pikachu himself; it's all the crazy love he gets.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I try to think like in Pokemon Go, who do I like stop freaking catching? Like I'll shiny check it, but it annoys me when I see it on screen. And fuck, I just gave up on one of them earlier today. Yeah. Clearly, I don't hit him that much, but I'll remember it later. But it's
Yeah.
just it's a shiny I don't have that I have hundreds, if not thousands, of candy for, and I'm like, nope. Or if I try to catch it, it immediately jumps out. Like, why are you like this?
Oh, on the starter ones for probably for my favorite. Okay, in game, my favorite fire line is the Charmander Charizard line. In game, in regards to the TCG, anything else relating to Charizard, absolutely despise Charizard. Like regards to the trading cards, absolutely hate Charizard because there's a million and a half of them. Charizard prints money. I get it,
Yeah,
but not every set needs 2 or 3 Charizards in it, and just everything else you need kind of merch. Trying to find stuff. It's always Pikachu, Charizard, Eevee, which I mean they're all cool. Cool, mean great, but just seeing Charizard on anything like for me outside of the video games is kind of like one of those. Really? Another Charizard? Charizard this? Well, printing that money, but get it though. But yeah, the Charmander line are my favorite fire starter line. What would you say would be your favorite starters or starter lines or
well, my favorite, just overall, is the Piplup line.
solid choice?
Um, I was like, oh, it's cute. I remember, what was it Unova that they came out, or is it Kalos? I was like,
Pip would be
Unova, right?
Sinnoh.
Or
Sinnoh,
Sinnoh.
4th gen.
I was like, I'll go with the at which all the stars in Sinnoh. I think were, especially as I get older, I appreciate all of them more.
Right.
Uh, but I was like, I'll go with the little penguin. And then I got to Empoleon. I was like, it's just a beautiful looking starter. Only only starter I kept on my team the entire run. at some point I always benched my starter
Mm-hmm.
because I found a grass type or water type that I liked better. The only time that I had a little bit of hesitation, and I usually brought him back out during, was for alligator.
Yeah, Fraligator is he's definitely up there.
But then so even my top three water types: Empoleum, Feraligatr, and Greninja. Um, Fire type, I Fennekin line. Um, Grass type, I'm like, I can never really think of a good argument for anybody else besides Venusaur. And I know it annoys a lot of people. Like, who picks Bulbasaur? I'm like, and I look at it as like, even in game, the first gym you go to, why are you picking Charmander?
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like you're going up against
First
Brock.
two
Why are you
gyms,
picking Charmander?
yeah, the first two gyms, you're at a major disadvantage if you go with Charmander.
Yeah, so if you're gonna go for the easiest route, you take Bulbasaur for the first two gyms.
Mm-hmm. Because you had Brock and Misty, so obviously grass is strong against the ground, rock and water, so you were pretty solid there. But yeah, if you went the Charmander line, you're going to be in for a bad day.
And it makes me wonder, like at least with I'd say the older OG players, why they maybe love Charmander so much is because he started out at a disadvantage as the underdog, and then later on in the anime, Ash having that Charizard, he's got the attitude, and people just no, they fell in love with him going forward from there. But it's, so yeah.
So you brought up something interesting that is in the Pokemon community is very sacrilege or very contested. Is you bench your starter?
Yeah. And it's never right away.
Okay.
It was never right away. There came a point where it was like I got to a point where it was like, and I did multiple runs with different starters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was always like, okay, I found this grass type. Do I like Meganium over this? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like I noticed that I had a hole in my team, and it was like a fire weakness. Well, I don't have a water type on my team, and I have two grass types. I had to make a decision, or you know what I mean. And it was like, I know it's sacrilege, and people are freaking pissed off about it, but with the exception of Empoleon and Feraligatr, I never really kept my starter for very long after they evolved.
Right.
And I know, shame on me, but
I think the only time I ever legitimately benched my starter super early was with the black and white games in Unova because I didn't care for none of that starter trio. I did not. That's probably my least favorite starter trio out of all the games, and I didn't care for any of the three starters. So I think I picked at this point. I can't remember which one I picked at this point, and I used it until I think it was the fire type, and I think I used that until I found a better fire type. A fire type I liked more, and I just put him in the box and forgot he existed.
And as I think about the starters again, like there's very few starters that I will say that I hate.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's like, oh, hate's a strong word, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, fire types. It's like, yeah, Charizard's cool. Typhlosion is awesome. Blaziken's cool. I learned to appreciate Blaziken.
Right.
The Chimchar line, I'm like, okay. Embor, uh, Fennekin, okay. Okay, you saved it for me. You know, Pyroar, so it was only like 3 out of the 7 or 8 that we had that I actually like. Um, but I never really was a super crazy fan of the fire types anyway.
Fair
You know,
enough.
the only time I ever really had fire types on my team is when I was trying to hatch eggs and they had, flame body. Um, the water types for the most part, and this is we'll get to it, but Blastoise, freaking awesome. You know, for alligator, awesome. Swampert, awesome. Empoleon, awesome. Like I don't think they missed, with the exception of the only time that they really fell off with me is maybe Gen 6 or 7. Was when all the designs I didn't think were great. So
Yeah.
the first 5 or 6 gens, I thought all the water types were. Same thing with the grasses. You know, you know, but and I know I got hate for it, but it's fine. If if you were approached to be a gym leader, you could only obviously you could only have one type. What type of gym leader would you be?
Mm.
And who would your ace be? Can't be
Ooh.
legendary, can't be starter.
Ooh. Okay. If I was a gym leader, my type would probably be dragon, and my ace. Ooh, my ace would be. Honestly, my ace would probably be a Gyarados.
And you're going with the whole Lance definition of dragon.
Go with dragon, and probably my ace would probably be Gyarados. Probably would definitely have a Garchomp on there. I mean, how can you not? Ooh, probably had, like I said, Gyarados, Garchomp, Dragonite, Dragapult, and probably Noivern.
Noivern is for I love Noivern.
Oh yeah.
Which one of those guys would be your mega?
My mega would probably be honestly, it'd probably be a Garchomp.
I can see your Pokemon office being just have a little shrine to Cynthia.
Out of fear.
Fear, fear.
Fear and PTSD. Yeah. That is to this day still not over that freaking that curb stomping got by Cynthia multiple times, and her stupid and her freaking Garchomp.
And you know what? The Garchomp, as bad as the Garchomp is, it was her friggin' melodic for me. Because even I was like, okay, I'm going to bring in a grass type. Fucking ice beams.
Yes, and her Lucar, everything on her team was bad. It was her Lucario, it was her Togekiss, it was her Spiritomb, it was her God. What else did she have? I know she had she got her Garchomp, her Melodic, Spiritomb, Lucario,
Togekiss,
Togekiss.
Lucario, and
God, what's the other one? Oh, what's that? I always get them. Their fourth gen. There's a blue version and a pink version. They're the
Shellos,
yes,
like Gastrodon.
yes,
And you know what's crazy? The Spiritomb is the worst on her team.
yeah. Because Ghost has no weakness against anything.
And I think it goes dark too. So it's, I think, what, the second Ghost Heart?
I believe so. Yeah.
Because I know Sableye was the first Ghost Dark with no weakness. And then I think he was the second.
Yeah. So, question back to you. You're a gym leader. What would your type specialty be, and who would your ace be?
I thought about this before. I would be a water trainer if that wasn't clear before with the starters. Um, it might I ace. Trying to think. I would probably have a Gyarados on my team. A Tentacruel, a Gastrodon, but he literally cannot touch grass. So,
Literally allergic to grass.
um, out of principle, I always joke that because in Pogo my name's Rubber Ducky,
Mm-hmm.
gotta have a gold duck. And even though I have a Gyarados on my team, he might be my ace.
I'm
Right? Right? Um, and I try not to be generation heavy here or Gen 1 heavy. Um, Tentacruel, Golduck. Trying to think of all the water types that I love. Gastrodon, that's 3. I would take as my mega a Sharpedo.
oh god.
The last cannon I know, but a cannon.
I just have a love hate relationship with that Pokemon. Whenever you're doing anything in the water and you have to try to outrun him.
Oh, Carvanha's the Zubat at the sea. That I can.
Yes.
Why? That. Man, trying to narrow it down. off the top of my head here.
That's what happens when they have over 1,000 Pokemon at this point.
For real. And especially with water, probably the biggest group. You know what I mean?
Hmm. And not using a starter.
Yeah. That's why that's why I always say no legendary, no starter. It makes it harder.
Hmm.
Because it's like if you use your starters, of course my Empoleon would be my ace,
Yeah.
Um, ah, Udra for my dragon.
Ooh, yeah. Solid choice.
So that's 5, and then and just for pure, I dare you to whittle away at me. The melting to get the effect. Friggin' Whale Lord.
Oh, God. So you
Whale
got
Lord or
a
Whale
pretty big gym.
Lord. Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
And I already know how I would do it too. Lead off with Tentacruel, lay out those toxic spikes, dare you to come cut, dare you to switch out. You know, those toxic spikes, follow with wall rain, put out that hail.
You're an evil, evil man.
I know. I know.
You're evil. Mm.
And then, maybe once those guys are gone, bring out the rain. Why? Because rain, hydro pump doesn't miss, and hailstorms, those blizzards don't miss. I would love to see you walking up, Philip, with your drink.
Yeah. Yeah. With my dragons, they'd be having a bad day with that hail and ice.
I'd have scald on everybody.
See,
Scald.
all I gotta do is live long enough to get off 3 dragon dances and an attack, and if I can get off the dragon dances, gonna have a bad day. But
Oh, once that wall rain comes out and the hail start swords dancing away. Keep that hail going. Swords dance, hail, ice beam, and blizzard.
yeah. Okay, so I got I got one for you. Well, I know you already said fire you don't like. What is your either least favorite type or the type that you look at? Why? Like why do you exist?
To me, like all the typings, water, grass, fire makes sense. Fighting obviously makes sense. Steel, even fairy, they all make sense to me. Why they exist and why they are what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the only one that I find annoying or the explanation why is annoying are the normal types. I like normal types because they have very few weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what makes a Pokemon a normal type? Well, it's just a rabbit. It's a normal rabbit. It's a normal bird. Okay, like at least with the fire types, like it's from the Chinese calendar or whatever. Okay, that makes sense. But it's just Bidoof is normal solely because it's a beaver. You know what I mean? Like a normal animal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, So again, that's it. I don't have a typing that I hate. Fire types I use the least, but everything else I'm like, all right. You know, how about you?
It would be ice. Like, why does what does ice do that that majority of water types can't?
I mean, the only thing I could think of is like needed to fill out the snowy areas. You know
Right.
what I mean? And balancing purposes, I guess. You know, um, giving dragons another weakness because they don't have many
Yeah, the only two they have with is ice and fairy,
and
which
themselves.
in themselves. But to me, it's just like all I said. Almost all water types can learn ice type moves. So it's just like, why does ice? It's like, what does ice do better than water? It's and ice is weak to fire. On top of that,
And tweak the fire and steel.
yeah,
And,
it
and keep in mind, like, not, all the water types can also learn ice moves, but without the ice type, what would we classify Blizzard as?
right.
Or game. You know what I mean? Kind of needed to keep those moves in a way. But at the same time, not only would we be losing water types, frost glass would be losing, uh, Galele,
Mm-hmm.
Obama snow. So it's like it's more of the those Pokemon that would live in those northern climates, so to speak. You gotta classify them somehow, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, just for me, it's ice type though. Just like like some of those, it makes sense on paper, but then there's other ones that it's just like, okay, why? But it's just like, what was it, Seal and Dugong? If I remember, I can't remember if they're just water or water ice, but it's just like,
Steel is just water. Dugong is water ice.
yeah. So it's like double. It's double water essentially.
Water and rock water.
Yeah, yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
that reminded me of the one that I could not. One of the ones that I hated trying to catch, and I finally got it shiny, so I stopped. Delibird,
Yeah.
friggin' Delibird. I'm like, the only reason I'm clicking on you is to see if you're shiny or not.
Yeah.
Right? 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 Oh,
Ooh, okay. Speaking of shinies, what would you say is probably your favorite shiny and the your probably least favorite shiny that you just see and you're like, I'm only keeping you because you're rare. Other than that, your shiny's either trash or I don't like the coloring, or you're like Gengar and Garchomp. You're like a half of a shade difference.
my favorite shinies. I say shinies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Vaporeon. Um, Mega Gengar. It's
Yes.
fabulous. Um, and Polion Shiny, I really like. It's more of again, it's modeled after Napoleon, so it has the French blue.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sceptile shiny is really nice. Uh, I want to say Pidgeot because it's my favorite Pokemon, but again, it's a shade darker, a shade lighter. Like
Hmm.
it's no difference. Um, I really like Tentacruel shiny combo.
Oh, that purple green.
Yeah, the green eyes and kind of like the light purplish, bluish color.
Yeah.
Um, my least favorites. Excuse me. Again, Gengar's regular shiny, Garchomp's the regular shiny. Just because it's, I'd rather you be drastically different. Be absolutely ridiculous, like Obstagoon, just absolutely ridiculous. Than
Now, which
blank.
the normal Obstagoon or the Galarian toothpaste shiny?
The not the Zigzagoon, but the Galarian Zigzagoon line
Yeah.
from black and white to red, white, and blue.
Yeah, it's where they get the Colgate line, the Aquafresh
Yeah.
line.
So, like, I like that just because it's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so I'd rather you be absolutely ridiculous than either bland or repetitive.
Hmm.
Because like the first three generations, and I know I said with Vaporeon Shiny is one of my favorites, but it's like how many water types in those first three generations went from blue to hot pink?
Yeah.
You know, Whalmer, you got friggin' shiny Thanos. You know, Swampert, I love Swampert, but another hot pink.
Hmm.
I love Quagsire, blue to hot pink. You know, so I'm glad that they went in there was able to adjust it themselves, but it was getting crazy there and repetitive.
Yeah.
And little man just shit himself.
Ooh. F's in the
And
chat.
he just laid a trebuchet in his pants.
uh, F's in the chat.
So another thing, this is more Pokemon Go related, but you could use it for both. I kept saying, and I know this is might sound a bit elitist, Top Little Man, but me as somebody who's been playing Pokemon Go since 2016, the day it came out, I
Right.
kept same repetitive questions nowadays of either new player. I give new players a bit of a break because they're new. They just came into it. But people that stopped playing, and then came back saying, "Oh, this is I stopped playing in 2019, and then I came back. I just came back. Why can't I get Mew? Because you stopped playing." And then and it's like I don't want to be one of those. Definitely don't want to be a toxic player or somebody that says, because I would be the first person to ever try to help somebody out.
Same.
That's why I kept like an entire file of just Bouffalants whenever I moved out to California. Yeah. But it was just getting to the point where it was getting ridiculous. Um, so in the regular, in any of the communities, whether it's the video games, trading cards, because I'm not into TCG. I don't collect the cards, but you do. And in Pokemon Go, what is something that you've seen that's either one completely annoying, two and is getting super on the verge of toxic? Now, Pokemon, I always say, out of my three fandoms, wrestling, Star Wars, and Pokemon, is the least toxic,
Yeah.
especially compared to Star Wars.
Star Wars and wrestling can go. It depends on the day. Wrestling and Star Wars is probably tied for first place depending on the day. Because I know how Star Wars is and I know how wrestling is, especially with the IWC. That could go either way. But oh man. So like in regards to Pokemon Go, it's kind of the same as what you said is you either got, the people that, played up until a certain point, took a break, then came back for whatever reason. Then, why can't I catch Mew, or why can't I catch whatever Pokemon? They start complaining about it. And I'm like you, like I try to help everyone out as much as I can, or kind of maybe not. I try to help everyone and try to look at it from, okay, they're coming back, they've been out of it for 2, 3, 4 years, what have you. But at the same time, Google's free. And like I said, I don't, not trying to be a dick, but at times it's just like, man, Google's free. Or there's a search function on Facebook, like you can do that as well. But what gets me with like Pokemon Go is the people that got too accustomed during the pandemic, with all the with how they had it, where you could do more stuff from at home instead of having to go out or be with groups of people. The people that got too accustomed to that, and when they started rolling those features back, which they clearly said they were, people started complaining about it and started just griping about the game taking away that feature. And it's just like, look, guys, they said it was temporary. It was never supposed to go on as long as it did. Like, it was a temporary feature because of the pandemic. That really kind of that really annoys me and kind of gets on my nerves. In regards to the TCG realm, I don't play the game. I put the shiny cardboard and sleeves in a binder and look at them. I don't play the game. I've tried. It's not for me. What gets me is obviously the scalping right now is a major issue, which that's an issue in any collectible community. So it's not exclusive to Pokemon.
And what people don't get with the scalping, at least the people going crazy with collecting Pokemon cards. I'm old enough, I've seen it with baseball cards, football cards, comic books, hell, Beanie Babies. The bottom's eventually going to drop out, guys.
Yeah,
If you keep this up, the bottom's going to drop out.
it might be in a month. It might be in 2 years. Who knows? But obviously the scalping's an issue. But what is, to me, is more toxic, and what is harmful to the community there is the everyone but me is a scalper. Like, heck, a couple months ago, I got called a scalper because Walmart they got a restock in, and I bought 4 sleeve booster packs. Got called a scalper and was told to leave some for the kids. Whenever there was two like display boxes completely full of cards, and it was probably 100 in each box. But that, and everyone else is a scalper except for you. That's, to me, it's super toxic. And the whole, having to wait outside of GameStop, in line to try to get something, and oh, those people are scalpers. It's like, no, not everybody works a Monday through Friday or a 9 to 5. Some people go in at second shift. Some people get off at 6 o'clock in the morning. What have you? That is one. That's one thing that's really bad about the TCG community. And the other thing is,
And for the record, I know, even though I don't collect those. Not everybody that does that, not everybody that's out there trying to collect them is a fan, and
yeah,
not everybody that's doing it is a scalper.
yeah.
And fortunately, it's the shitty people that give everybody else in the community a bad name.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that in the Pokemon community, that the TCG, I've seen some of it. It's the let's be real, it's gambling. Buying Pokemon cards, opening packs it's gambling. It's essentially gambling.
Come here, go, man.
You got the people that sit there, spend two, three, four, $500 buying packs, ripping them open to chase a $40 card. And I get it. There's a sense of pride and accomplishment of finally, ripping a pack open and getting your chase card. It's like, all right, I pulled this. I got it. Awesome. But at the same time, you spent $500 chasing a $40 card.
Yeah.
At some point, just like I'll buy packs here and there and open them, but generally I just buy the singles. One, I don't end up with bulk I don't want or care about. Which a lot of that I've some acquaintances that they play in the local league, and I'll be like, hey, do you guys want this? Like I'll most of my give them my bulk. Like, hey, is there anything here you guys useful for your decks? Just let them have it, because like it gets it out of my hair, and it's cards I really don't want or care about, and I'll just buy the singles. It's cheaper. I get it. Okay, cool. Well, I'm done, because how I do it, I usually look up the sets, see if there's any see if any of my favorites are in the sets. If my favorites aren't in the set, I'll see if there's any cards I like in this set. And if there's really not any cards I like, or if there's nothing in that set that interests me, I sit it out. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I won't really get anything of this. It's if the set has some cards in it I want, like, all right, cool. These are ones I want. I'll spend a little bit of money, buying the packs. I'll set a reasonable budget, maybe $100. Excuse me. I may not spend all $100 at once, but I'll spend up to $100 in packs or different boxes or whatever. And if I still haven't pulled my chase by then, okay, cool. I'll look at buying the single of it. Now, if it's like a $400 card, yeah, probably not going to buy that. Just buy that card. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit there, go broke, and spend $500 chasing a $40 card.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what my two of my friends back home, when Funkos were really, really at their top, they would go and chase down the variants, the chases, and even if it's not something that they were particularly into, knowing that it's the variant, the chase, or whatever, and they would sit on it.
Yeah.
And they made good enough money that they were able to afford to do that. And no shame to them at all. I love them to death. But they got to a point where they were going crazy. They could not get rid of stuff fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
So they made their money. They had fun, and they just fit. And now if they see something they like, they'll get it.
Yeah.
And I always say, like I was saying then too. But my wife's nephew, Katie, he asked me, he asked us when we went to getting ready for Comic-Con last year. He's like, with Funkos, what do I get? I was like, what do you like? the beauty of Funko is they have a Funko for everything.
For the most
So,
part, yeah.
so don't go crazy trying to find the variants, trying to find, blocked Chewbacca. If you find it, cool, grab it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's buy what you like. It's Gardevoirs. You
Yeah.
know, in a completely wholesome, good Christian kind of way.
Oh yeah. Not the
Um,
Vaporeon kind of way.
um, so and save you a shitload of money ripping open packs and shit.
Hmm. So you brought up Funkos. I I I I don't really buy a lot of Funkos because one, I don't have the room to have store a lot of them. But do you see Funkos being the millennial Gen Z Beanie Babies, or do you think they're gonna actually be somewhat valuable in 5, in 10, 20, 30 years?
Valuable, some maybe. Um, all of them probably not, because they're still mass produced.
Yeah,
Um, I think where the value will come in, because I don't see them stopping production of Funko.
yeah,
Just because, just because there's always a new show, a new movie, the MCU is still going, the Star Wars is going to keep going. Wrestling will always be around, music. Where that's where Funko was smart. They diversified. Instead of just having a bear,
yeah.
different colors. Sports and music and uh, all kinds of fandoms. They diversified their portfolio, so to speak. But where I see the value coming in is in the autographs.
Yeah.
You know, um, not that I would ever sell it, but I had Ashley Eckstein sign my Ahsoka, voice of
Ooh,
Ahsoka.
nice.
That's for me, solely for me.
Right.
But the value will be not in the Ahsoka, because that Funko is probably so mass produced with about 12 other Ahsokas. It's the fact that it's autographed. So I think that's just like any kind of sports memorabilia or anything. You get it autographed, the value goes up. So I think that's where one of the benefits of Funkos are, as well as the value will be.
I
You know,
think I personally think that the chases, the chase ones, some of the exclusives like the San Diego Comic Con or the New York Comic Con or the what have you. I feel like that's going to be where, for the most part, the value, or like you said, the autographs, or some of the like the rare chase ones of where you have like normal Chewbacca, then there's like a chance of getting like some different colored Chewbacca. I think that's going to be where they're going to hold their value or gain value. But for the general consensus of Funkos, I feel like a majority of them are going to be like Beanie Babies, or what was the even older than that, like those little like ceramic figures.
like the
That,
pressure memories.
yes, are going to be like, I feel like a majority of them is going to be like those, because I know any kind of either collecticons or anime conventions or anime shows I go to, there's always at least 2 to 5 booths is nothing but Funkos.
Comic Con
And
was like the same way. They had like an entire row, not including the Funko booth itself, of people with Funkos, and it's just half their all the booth stock were the same Funkos.
yeah, the ones nobody wants.
This guy's selling it for 12. That guy's selling it for 10. okay, I'm going to buy it from him.
Yeah.
That box is shot, but that one's good. I'll buy the good box.
And that or if it's not the ones that nobody wants, it's ones that everyone has because you can just go to Walmart, GameStop, wherever else to just buy them. It's just like, well, okay, why am I gonna spend the 15-20 bucks to get into the show, then turn around and spend buying from you for $15 whenever I can get it at Walmart for 10. But majority of them are either ones that nobody wants, or like you said, like like you got 6 booths and 3 of them have the same exact ones, and it's like within a couple bucks difference of each other. That's the only thing I kind of get annoyed about with Funkos at time. But is also, to me, it's some of the exclusives. Like you got your like GameStop exclusives, EB Games exclusive, Hot Topic, Walmart, Box Lunch. You have like so many different exclusives that it's just like, okay, my town doesn't have that store. The closest one's like 150 miles away. It's just like, yeah, which you can order them, but some of them you can't order online. It's like, great. Or then you got Funko itself exclusives that
Yeah.
you can order online.
Yeah, like the Funko stores, like okay, there might be 1 or 2 in LA, 1 or 2 in New York, 1 or 2 in Chicago or Dallas or something, or Orlando. But in your small town in Oklahoma, it's not gonna have a Funko store.
No.
You might have 2 GameStops. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or the Hot Topic in the mall.
So
Respectfully.
basically mine, like it's either GameStop, Walmart. I know Walgreens has like a small selection of like other toy aisle. They have like 2 or 3 Funkos, but it's generally Walmart or GameStop for my town, because like our mall is like a decrepit husk. Like it's barely anything in it. But yeah, like
Which
Funko.
speaking of Walgreens, sorry to
Oh no,
interrupt.
you're good.
I had stopped in there to get like Advil or something like that one day, and went down their toy aisle, and they had a Juggernaut Funko. I'm like, awesome, I'll take it. I was like, I have some extra money to spend on this Funko. Went up to the counter. It rang up for $1,
Yo.
and it was probably supposed to be $10. The kid had to be like 17 years old. I had no idea. I saw it. I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
He's like, that doesn't look right. I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, that's what it rang up in here, and the manager's not here. And he catch me out. I'm like, all right, I just got a Juggernaut Funko for $1. Hey,
In this economy, you can't complain about that.
oh, I'll take it and run. I never went back.
Yeah.
That was like 2 years ago.
Okay, but still, I mean, even then, no, I ain't gonna complain about that at all. Like, okay, so you and I are probably fairly close to the same age. I know I'm 37. I think you're within a couple years of me.
42.
Okay, so yeah, we're close to the same age. As a grown man, do you ever feel not weird, but like when you go to the toy aisle or some of those other aisles or some of those other stores that are not, more for kids, do you ever just feel kind of like out of place, or like this probably looks odd, just grown man going down the Lego aisle or the toy aisle, or the Hot Wheel aisle or action figure aisle at toy stores? Do you ever just feel kind of like, oh, well, I'm out of place?
Um, I I used I used to think about that, but then I realized I was like, anybody that wants to, and this is just my opinion. This goes for everybody and everything. Whether your hobby is collecting Hot Wheels or Pokemon cards or going down to the Tackle Island Walmart or, if you're into, motorcycles, Vespas, cars, whatever the case may be. You're always going to have people that will judge you for your hobby.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Those people don't matter. Right.
Yeah.
There's some very hard limits, obviously, to things. You know, if your hobby is doing heroin every weekend, then okay, you have a problem. Okay. And I'm sure you've seen on like TikTok or even Facebook, YouTube Reels or whatever. Those there when people would stop a woman on the street after a club. What is a nick? Oh, if they're into Pokemon cards. Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah.
Like let people enjoy things.
Yeah.
Right. So I stopped caring about that. If somebody saw me, a grown ass man, looking at Hot Wheels. Okay, Karen. All right, Frank. What do you do in your spare time? You know what I mean? Oh, you work every day and you have nothing to show for it? All right, cool. Moving on. You think you're an adult, but so you put away things that they give you enjoyment a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So if it brings you the slightest bit of joy, I say, do your thing. Whether it's Hot Wheels, Funkos, makeup, whatever it is. Second, I have a kid now. Right? Whether he's with me or not. Oh, what are you doing looking at the action figures? Well, they're for my son. Oh, okay. And nobody. I'm
You
looking
got a
at
built.
if I'm looking at the Hot Wheels while I'm pushing the stroller, nobody bats an eye. Right? He is an amazing wingman, and I'm still married.
I was gonna say you have a built-in. Yeah, the little homie's a built-in excuse.
Yeah, for real. So when they see a 42-year-old man pushing a stroller and playing with an Umbreon in the stuffy section, nobody's even thinking anything of it.
No.
But if I'm by myself holding an Eevee, then we're gonna be like, oh, it's for my son.
Yeah, because I think one time it's happened to me. I got a few packs of Pokemon cards at Walmart, and normally I go to the self checkouts, but something was wrong. The self checkouts weren't working or whatever, so I had to go to an actual person and put them on the counter or whatever. She says, "I'm like, oh, your kid's gonna like these." I'm like, yeah, yeah, my kid like them. Because I get out to my truck and rip the packs open in my truck, but yeah, it's just
Nope.
like, yeah, for my kid. Sure.
You were saying, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that it's just like, yeah, I've had to do the whole like, oh, your kid's gonna love these cards. It's like, yeah, sure, for my kid. Then as I get out to my truck and rip them open, like, nope, they're for me. It's just like, but yeah, for the most part, I'm kind of the same way. Like, I don't care. It's like I go to the toy aisle. I'm sitting looking at Hot Wheels, action figures, whatever else, and go down the Lego aisle and cry because I couldn't afford them as a kid, and as an adult, I still can't afford them.
Dude, Legos are friggin' ridiculous now. Some of them, like I can understand, like okay, the Lego Death Star, why it's expensive,
I can't.
but when it's a simple an X-wing that's this big and it's $37. I remember not that long ago that set was like $9. You know what I mean?
Like the recent ones that the Pokemon ones they dropped. they're cool. Don't get me wrong. But like the starter trio, the Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur, $650, which granted I know 7,000 pieces. If you do the math, like 650 divided by 7,000 or whatever, it was less than 10 cents a piece. I get it. The price per piece is stupid cheap. I get it.
And
But
that's
on
the only
top,
way to get the badges.
yeah, that and on top of that, that badge set being $60 is like oof, oof. That's a little pricey, but you know what? I wanted it, but I don't want to pre-order that starter trio just to get that and end up spending over $700 on Legos.
And like, I'm by no means poor,
Right.
but by no means am I rich that I could rationalize to myself, let alone my wife, why I'm spending $700 something on Legos.
Dude, that's a truck payment. That's rent. That's mortgage. That's like
I
that's
I pay
seven hundred
less for
bucks.
my Grand Cherokee sitting outside than I would for that entire set.
Yeah, that's a set of tires. That is that's like $700. That could be used on a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah,
But it's like I get the intellectual properties, the Pokemon, the Star Wars, the Harry Potter, the Minecraft, the Jurassic Parks, the intellectual properties ones they have. I get
yeah.
those being a little more expensive than the run of the mill Legos. I get it.
And unfortunately, that's where a lot of it comes from is the licensing and stuff like that.
But
You
even
know,
then, some of their, like you said, that little X-wing, like some of their little like quick builds, even those are expensive.
yeah, 20 something dollars for something that 10 years ago was half the price.
Yeah. Oh, it's like I'll have to send it to you. But like it's on TikTok. Do you see that there's a guy he can turn any Lego set into Millennium Falcon?
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, like this guy, like he took like all these different sets, and he can turn any Lego set, doesn't matter. He can turn it into the Millennium Falcon.
So
So
you
like
go
like a
out,
Simba turned it into Millennium Falcon.
and I joke that whenever I saw a Lego set, like, joking with the Millennium Falcon or a friggin' X-Wing that's this big, Katie will be like, Joe, I was like, it's for the baby. They're like, he's 4 months old. For the baby. And he's sitting there laughing at it.
See, he agrees.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
Oh man. Oh, is there anything that you do collect that either you do collect that you wish you didn't go like okay, like is there something that you see that you want to collect but you don't want to go down that rabbit hole of collecting? Or also is there something that you currently collect that you're like how do I even get like not necessarily how do you even get into this, but like is there something that you collect that you've been collecting it for so long that you just keep doing it like subconsciously, I guess you'll go to the store like, oh crap, there's this new Hot Wheel. Just you buy it without even thinking.
For a while, I noticed, and I had to stop myself. Whenever a new Batmobile would come out, I was buying. It was the same model, just a recolor,
Well,
like the TV era Batmobile. I got about 12 of them now, all different colors. The original, the white and red, the red and pink, the blue. the blue and light blue, red and blue, like the chrome, the ZMAC. I'm like, okay, I need to chill. I'm like, why do I have all these Batmobiles? I have a box of just Batmobiles. I have a box of just Corvettes. So I'm like, over the years, I kind of scaled down of just buying anything to, okay, I'm just going to buy Batmobiles and Corvettes. Okay, how many Batmobiles do I need? Just Corvettes, right? I don't even remember. I was like, do I have that Batmobile yet? Um, so so it's like there's things where I kind of scaled back on my collecting or my purchasing. I would there are times where I would buy like a 9 pack or 8 packs now of Hot Wheels just because I wanted exclusive Corvette, and then I would take the other cars, give them to like my nephew, give them to kids, give them away. Yeah, a good deed, right? Um, but the one thing that, well, two things really that I'm worried about getting into that I would want to do to get him involved doing something, but I know I'll probably go down the rabbit hole. One, those slot car racers,
Oh, yeah.
and two, I don't want to turn into that old autistic man from the 70s. Trains.
You don't want to be a Sheldon Cooper?
Yeah, like the guy that says autism wasn't around when I was a kid. Sir, you have 32 trains. Been obsessed with trains since you were 6. Okay. Um, there are times I went to the hobby shop to look at cars or buy sleeves or see what Hot Wheels they got in. They have full scale trains, like I mean not full scale trains obviously, but
Yeah.
model trains, like fucking amazing trains, like pieces of art.
Yeah.
$600, $700. I was like, dude, I would buy that just to put it on my mantle. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I know that if I had that kind of money, I would turn into that guy.
Yeah.
I have the red, white, and blue American flag train. I have the New York Yankees train. I have the Army train. I have this. I don't even have a fireplace to put them on. You know what I mean? They're just sitting in the box in the garage. Um, so those are the kind of things like I'm like, you know, I know if I started with just one, I'd probably start going down that rabbit hole, and I'm like, I could probably use that money somewhere else with what I'm already doing. Um,
Mine RC cars. Like either RC like some of the RC cars, or I've they've been coming across like my feed like on Facebook or like on YouTube Reels. Like even some like those RC planes, because
yeah,
like they've been getting a lot of the crash compilations of them. But God, seeing how much some of those planes cost over here, like, okay, those are cool. Because instead of trains, I have the planetism, and and seeing like like there's one I saw was like it was it was when it was flying it was a C-130, but like if you didn't know it was an RC plane, you would have been like, holy crap, that C-130 is flying over, and it's just like, oh wait, that's an RC plane. Just seeing some of those, it's like, okay, those are cool. Then you look, it's like, oh, nope. Yep, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Don't want to get into planes or RC helicopters, or like even some like the nitro RC cars or battery RC. A lot of them are cool, but it's just like, nope, I don't. Nope, not going to go down that. Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it.
and some of them, like I've seen, like with like the RC cars or boats or planes, they're in the price range where you could get an actual car for that amount.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, okay, cool, you have an RC Hummer. How much did you pay for it? $3,200. Well, I just bought a military spec Hummer for $3,000. I have the real thing for less than what you paid for it.
yeah. Like I I paid $3,000 for my truck. It's just like, no. That's one of those that I won't go down that rabbit hole. Not going to do it. Like mine was like I've slowed down. Well, thankfully I got forced to slow down because it wasn't until recently. Like I say recently, it was within the last like year and a half or two that it was, probably less than a year, but I started doing the singles. But it was Pokemon cards. Every time I go to Walmart, a pack or two, go down the card aisle, pack or two, you know, then a couple days later, gonna need to go back to Walmart because always need something. Go down the card aisle, grab a couple packs, and it was every time I went to either Walmart or whatever other store. How some other stores, like the grocery store, have that check lane blister that has a single pack with a promo and a coin. I'll grab that. It was almost like subconsciously just do it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap.
I just spent $300 in Pokemon cards this week.
Yeah. It wasn't done at once, but it was, $10 here, $20 here. It's just like, oh crap. And with the scalping and getting hard to find, and it's harder to find those, it's like, okay, cool. It forced me to slow down, and it's like that was one of those that is like, okay, maybe I should probably slow down. And here lately, like I've been doing like the Dragon Ball cards, which there's cool art. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, freaking love Dragon Ball Z. So can find them. So it's like, all right, cool. I'll grab a pack. Like it's not like how it was with Pokemon. Like every time I went to the store, I buy a couple packs. Now it's one of those like payday. Go to Walmart, I'll buy $20 worth of Dragon Ball packs. Open them up. All right, cool. That's scratch that little itch. After that, done. Don't worry about it really too much until next payday or whatever. It's like, oh, cool, wow, cool. They got cards. Open them up. But yeah, the RC stuff I would love to get into because it looks fun. It looks cool, but seeing how I'm sure they don't show it on camera, but I would cry and throw up. And like some of those RC planes, like the jets, it's like watching them crash and just like when they hit the ground, they explode like an actual plane crash. And you're like, I would be crying and throwing up and extremely pissed off if that was my remote control plane.
And there are times where I'll be on like TikTok or YouTube, and I can say the first time that it sparked my imagination, so to speak, probably about 10 years ago. Mark Rober on YouTube, he did he grabbed Hot Wheels. There was the movie cars like Ecto One, the A-Team, Knight Rider, and he was like, "Who's gonna win?" And he did like this whole cinematic thing around his house and his backyard. He was playing,
Yes.
and I was like, "That's awesome." I would love to do something, especially now that I have him. Have some kind of fun with the Hot Wheels tracks, right?
Yeah.
And he just threw up on my shoulder. Yeah, me. So it's like now I see a lot more guys doing downhill drag racing with them. They have their own raceways. And I'm like finding out there's specific companies like on Etsy and that make their own custom tracks. I'm like, that is a rabbit hole I'm more interested in going down to it for the simple fact that if I could keep it contained.
Yeah.
Right. Like I could put it like it could have its own Rubbermaid box in the closet in the garage, as opposed to like planes or something where it's like you got to find a place to put it.
Yeah.
Guys that have like sheds in their backyard dedicated just to their friggin' track. which is like at that point you're in train territory. You know,
Oh,
it
speaking
starts at
of
the
that,
city, goes around, and
have you seen on TikTok? Um, there's this, I guess, this wife goes down like into their basement, and like there's her husband and like his friend or whatever, and they have like the RC like dump truck and like crane and backhoe, and like they're like if they're in the basement, but it goes to outside. They're sitting there actually digging the dirt, putting it in the dump truck, driving the dump truck off, dumping the dirt somewhere else in the yard, and it's just like they go down into their bait, and she goes down into the basement. It's just like, well, at least you know he's not cheating on you, but that's like you said, approaching train territory.
yeah. And again, like I encourage anybody that if you have a hobby, whether it's trains, RC cars, Pokemon cards, Funkos, hell, golf, encourage your partner, man, woman, husband, wife, gay, straight, whatever it is. If your partner has a hobby, support it, encourage it, because like you said, they're not cheating and they're not doing drugs, right?
Yes.
And as long as the house is paid, the cars are paid, the kids are taken care of, God bless you. You
Yes.
know, like the people we talked about, like giving dirty looks in the toy aisle. Mind your business.
Yes.
Um, and if you have kids and you use them as an excuse to buy trains or Hot Wheels or Pokemon cards, hey,
So, buy them a hot. Like I'm one of those like, oh, if you use your son, like, oh yeah, I'm buying them for him. It's like at least buy him like a Hot Wheel. Like, okay, here you go, little man. You're my scapegoat. At least throw a little kickback.
yeah, right.
And like you talk about your spouse, it's like don't get your partner or spouse involved into your hobby too, because or a hobby that's similar, because now they're gonna know like, wait a minute, that that train wasn't a $40 train. That was actually like $400. Or, that's how much these really are. You've been telling me these are this much for this long. It's like don't get your spouse into your same or hobby, like adjacent hobby that's maybe not like Pokemon cards, but it's like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever other or sports cards. It's like once you do that, like, wait a minute, you told me that card was only like a $40 card. That's $100 card. How much did you really spend on this? It's like,
Like a
they gave
joke
it
I
to
heard,
me.
like a joke I heard years ago. Sir, what is your biggest fear? My biggest fear is that my wife is going to sell my fishing equipment for after I die for exactly what I told her I spent on it.
Yeah, I've seen that one, but I've seen it like with
Guns.
guns instead. It's like, what's your biggest fear? My wife sells all my guns for what I told her I paid for them. Yeah. Luckily, single, don't have to worry about none of that. So,
Okay, man. Okay.
yeah, he ain't happy.
He ate, he laughed, he ate, he pooped, he laughed, and now I think he's ready to go back down. But he's like, Dad, you said you were buying me Hot Wheels. Where are my freaking Hot Wheels? I think that might be a sign.
Yeah. Yeah, little man ain't happy.
But we've been going at it for an hour and a half, and I think we could probably do another hour and a half another time on this.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, I mean, surprised, like he was quiet through like the whole like hour and a half, and it's just like, yep, he's like, yep, I'm not a happy camper now.
it's like, all right, Dad, you're done.
Yep. I helped you out. Now you got to help me out.
All right, so I appreciate you coming on. I'll let you go so you don't have to hear this. And,
No, you're good. I got my hand rested up anyway, so. But yeah, good talking to you. Anytime you want to talk, got something you want to talk about, always hit me up.
Absolutely. And I think he said, don't forget about Saturday night event.
Actually, that starts about an hour and a half, I think. So.
Yeah. So yeah, it starts at 5. All right.
Well,
Eastern
7 o'clock
5.
my time. So.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
Oh yeah. Got any quick predictions on that?
The only one that I'm like, um, tonight's AJ and Gunther, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I could see them. If Gunther beats AJ tonight, which I think he's going to end AJ, if AJ loses,
Yeah.
okay, which he's not happy about, well, AJ will end up finishing his career in TNA,
Yeah.
and they're going to have Gunther go full legend killer, and his final boss will be Randy Orton. Legend killer versus legend killer.
Yeah.
But everything else, I'm like, I don't know how they would go, where they would go. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes, but I think Sami Zayn's going to win the Fatal 4-Way and end up beating Drew at Royal Rumble.
Middleman. I have my thoughts on that, but I'll keep them to myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll preface it by saying not that Sami doesn't deserve it.
I'll preface it by saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm not a Sami Zayn fan, but that's beside the point.
When we end here, I'll tell you. But
All right.
I don't know.
All right. Have a good night, buddy.
You too, bud.